You think you're seeing the present right now, this moment, live, instant, no delay. You open your eyes, you look at your room, you look at your phone, you look at the sky, and it feels like reality is happening in real time, but it isn't. You are looking at the past, not metaphorically, literally. Every single thing you see is already gone by the time it reaches you. And once you understand that, once you really feel it, the world stops being a place you are inside of and starts being a place you are watching through a delay line made of light. A delay is usually so small your brain edits it out, but it's always there. Light has a speed, a hard speed, a number the universe refuses to let you cheat. 299,792,458 meters per second. That sounds insanely fast, and it is, but it's also painfully slow compared to the size of the universe. And because it's finite, because it isn't infinite, because it takes time for information to travel, the universe you see is not the universe as it is. It's the universe as it was. Let me show you how deep this goes, starting with something so ordinary you've never questioned it. Hold your hand in front of your face. Wiggle your fingers. You think you are seeing them now, but you're not. The light reflecting off your skin has to travel from your hand to your eyes. That distance might be, half a meter. Light covers that in about a billionth of a second, a nanosecond. So, yes, it feels immediate, but it isn't zero. And that matters because the universe is built out of the difference between zero and not zero. Now do this. Look at the other side of your room. 10 meters. The light takes about 30 nanoseconds. Still nothing to you. Your brain can't feel 30 nanoseconds, but it's there. Now look out a window at a building across the street, maybe 100 meters. That's 300 nanoseconds. Now look at a plane in the sky, 10 kilometers. That's 30 microseconds. Now look at the moon. The moon is about 384,400 kilometers away. The light takes about 1.28 seconds to get here. 1.28 seconds. So when you look at the moon, you are not looking at the moon as it is. You're looking at the moon as it was more than a second ago. And that's already weird because the moon feels like a constant, like a background object, like it's just sitting there. But you're watching it on a delay. If the moon vanished right now, not exploded, not dimmed, just vanished, you would keep seeing it for over a second. You would be staring at a ghost. And you wouldn't know until the last photon arrived. Now push farther. Look at the sun. The sun is about 150 million kilometers away. Light takes about 8 minutes and 20 seconds to get here. 8 minutes, 20 seconds. That means every sunrise is a time machine. When you see sunlight on your wall, you're seeing the sun as it was 8 minutes ago. If the sun disappeared again, hypothetically, you would keep living, laughing, scrolling, drinking water for 8 minutes, unaware, bathed in light from a star that no longer exists. That should make you feel small, but it gets worse, or better, depending on how you like your mind being broken. Because the sun is close. The sun is basically next door. Now look at the stars. When you look at a star, you're looking across distances so big your brain refuses to picture them. The nearest star system, Proxima Centauri, is over 4 light years away. That means the light from that star left 4 years ago and has been crossing space the entire time. And only now, tonight, it hits your eyes. 4 years. Think about everything that happened 4 years ago. Your life changed. The world changed. Entire trends were born and died. And that starlight is just arriving now like a delayed message in a bottle. Now take a star you can actually see easily, like Sirius. That light is about 8.5 years old. Vega, about 25 years. Polaris, hundreds of years. Some stars you see are thousands of years. You are literally looking at ancient history written in photons. And here's the uncomfortable question. What if the star is gone? What if it died? What if it exploded? What if it became a white dwarf or a neutron star or a black hole? You might still be seeing it. You might be looking at a lie, not because physics is lying, but because reality has a built-in latency. The sky is not a window into now. The sky is a museum. It is a library of old light. And you are reading it line by line. Most people never think about this. They think when they look up, they are seeing what is happening up there. But you are seeing what happened. The universe you see is a history book that writes itself in real time. And you are always behind the page. Now your brain tries to rescue you here. It says, okay, fine, that's just distant stuff. Stars are far. The delay is only big because of distance. But the deeper weirdness is that this is not just about distance. This is about the fact that seeing is not touching. Seeing is receiving. When you see something, you are not reaching out and grabbing it. You're catching its past. You're catching the light that left it earlier. And the only reason this feels normal is because you've been doing it since you were a baby. You learned to treat the delayed world as the real world. Your brain builds a simulation and calls it now. It stitches together incoming signals and pretends it's immediate. But it's never immediate. And we can prove that. Here's a simple test. Clap your hands. You see the clap and you hear the clap. Which one happens first? The light from the clap reaches your eyes almost instantly. The sound takes time. Sound moves about 343 meters per second in air. So if someone claps across a field, you see it, and then later you hear it. That lag is obvious. Light lag is not obvious because it's so fast. But it's the same principle. Every sense you have is a delayed channel. Sight is the fastest. Touch is local, but still not instant because nerves take time to fire. Smell is slow. Hearing is slower than light. You are a delayed creature living inside delayed information. Now let's push the concept until it snaps into something you can't ignore. Imagine the universe as a giant stage, and you are sitting in the audience. What you call reality is not the stage. It's the light from the stage reaching you. If the stage changes, you don't know until the light carries the news. That means there is no universal now. There is no cosmic present moment shared by everything. There is your here and now, built from signals arriving to you. Someone on a planet across the galaxy has a different now, made of different arriving signals. And even if you both look at the same event, you do not see it at the same time. You can't. The information has to travel. This is not philosophy. This is geometry. This is the structure of space-time. The speed of light is not just the speed of light. It is the speed of cause and effect. It is the speed at which the universe can update itself. Now, this is where it starts to feel like a horror story, because if there is a speed limit for information, then there are parts of the universe whose present you can never see. Not yet. Maybe not ever. If something happens far enough away, the light might not have reached us since the beginning of time. And the universe is only about 13.8 billion years old. That means there is a horizon, a limit. The observable universe is not the whole universe. It is the part whose light has had time to get here. Everything beyond that is not visible, not because it doesn't exist, but because it is causally disconnected from us right now. The universe is bigger than the universe you can see. You are trapped inside a bubble defined by light travel time, and that bubble is your entire reality. Now look at a galaxy through a telescope. Not even a fancy one. Just an image. Andromeda. That light left about 2.5 million years ago. 2.5 million. When that light started traveling, humans did not exist. Not even close. Our ancestors were not building cities. They were not writing language. They were not even Homo sapiens as we are now. Mammoths and saber-toothed cats. Ancient landscapes. And while all of that was happening, a photon left a star in Andromeda, began its journey, crossed intergalactic space, passed through dust, dodged gas clouds, traveled for 2.5 million years. And tonight, it hits your retina and triggers a chemical reaction, and you call it seeing. That is insane. That is a message older than your species arriving in your eyes. This means something else that should bother you. When astronomers look deep into space, they're not just looking far away. They're looking back in time. Distance is time. The farther you look, the younger the universe becomes. Look at nearby stars you see a few years ago. Look at nearby galaxies, you see millions. Look at distant galaxies, you see billions. And if you look far enough, you see the universe when it was a baby. Not as a metaphor, literally. This is why the deepest images ever taken by telescopes feel like religious art. Because they are snapshots of the early universe. We are watching cosmic childhood. And here's the part most people miss. This is not like looking at an old photo in an album. This is not dead information stored somewhere. This is the light itself arriving now. The universe is continuously sending its past forward as radiation. The past is still physically present as light traveling through space. That means the past is not gone. It is out there, moving, still moving. There are photons leaving your face right now, bouncing off your phone, leaving your room, crossing the street, going into space. In 1,000 years, they will be far away. In 1,000,000 years, they might pass a star. In 1,000,000,000 years, they might still be traveling. You are constantly broadcasting a ghost of yourself into the cosmos. The universe is full of ghosts, not spooky ghosts, physics ghosts. Light is a record. Light is history that hasn't been read yet. Now your brain immediately tries to do something comforting. It says, okay, so everything is delayed. Fine. But who cares? It doesn't change anything, it's just a fact. But it does change something. It changes the meaning of being alive in a universe with a speed limit. Because if the present is local and the past is what you see, then your life is not happening in a single shared moment with the cosmos. Your life is a moving intersection of light cones. That's the technical term, but the idea is simple. There is a region of space-time you can influence and a region that can influence you, and everything else is outside your causal reach right now. This is why there is no absolute simultaneity. This is why two observers moving differently can disagree on what events are happening now. It sounds like a trick, but it's built into the speed of light. The speed of light forces the universe to have a structure where time and space mix. And the price of that is that the present is not universal. The present is personal. Now let me make this even more concrete with a stupidly simple object, a mirror. You look into a mirror and you see yourself. You think it's immediate. But the light has to leave your face, travel to the mirror, bounce, and travel back. If the mirror is 1 meter away, that's 2 meters of travel. Light takes about 6.7 nanoseconds to make that round trip. So the person in the mirror is you from 6.7 nanoseconds ago. That's nothing, but it's still true. Now put two mirrors facing each other and look into the tunnel. Every reflection deeper is older. The 10th reflection might be you from tens of nanoseconds ago. The 1,000th reflection is older still. You can build a literal corridor of past versions of yourself. Not because time is flowing, but because light is finite. Now expand the mirror. The moon is a mirror. When you see moonlight, you're seeing sunlight that traveled from the sun to the moon, and then from the moon to you. That light is about 8 minutes to Earth, plus 1.3 seconds to you after reflecting, so slightly older than direct sunlight. The night sky is full of reflected history. Now here's the twist that makes this whole story more than a neat fact. When you look at something, you're not just receiving light. You're also deciding what light you allow to reach you. Your eyes are not passive windows. They are detectors with thresholds. Your brain edits, filters, predicts. It fills in missing pieces. It smooths out motion. It constructs continuity. That means your experience of now is not the world. It is a model of the world based on old data. And that model can be wrong. This is why optical illusions work. This is why you can be fooled. The brain is not trying to show you truth. It's trying to show you something useful fast enough to survive. But physics doesn't care about usefulness. Physics cares about what is. And what is that seeing is time travel. Now, if you want to feel the scale of this, do a thought experiment that will make you uncomfortable. Imagine a giant wall 1 light year away. 1 light year is the distance light travels in a year, about 9.46 trillion kilometers. Now imagine you had a magical telescope and you looked at that wall. You would be seeing it as it was 1 year ago. Not only that, if you waved at the wall and the wall had a camera and a screen that showed you back, you would not see your wave for 2 years. 1 year for your light to reach it. 1 year for its light to come back. You would be in a conversation with a 2-year delay. Now stretch that. 10 light years, 20. The universe is full of places where cause and effect are separated by lifetimes. That means there are civilizations, if they exist, that could have risen and fallen. And we would still be receiving their dawn light or their dying light without knowing which it is. And that is not science fiction. That is the direct consequence of living in a universe where information is limited by C. Now you might ask, why is the speed of light what it is? Why that number? Why not faster? Why not infinite? And here comes the annoying answer. There is no deeper why we can reach right now. The speed of light is not just a property of light. It is a property of space-time. It is the conversion factor between space and time. It's the rule that defines the geometry of reality. You can describe it, measure it, build technology around it. But explaining why it is that value might be like asking why the universe has the laws it has. At some point you hit bedrock. But you don't need the deeper why to feel the consequence. The consequence is that the universe has a built-in delay. And because of that delay, the sky is not a backdrop. It is a timeline. Now let's go one level deeper, because the phrase ancient light hides a bigger truth. Not only are stars ancient, the oldest light we can see is older than stars. There is a glow, a background radiation that fills the universe. It is the leftover light from when the universe became transparent, when plasma cooled enough for photons to travel freely. That light has been traveling for about 13.8 billion years. It has been stretched by expansion into microwaves, and when we detect it, we are literally detecting the afterglow of the early universe, the baby picture of everything. You are surrounded by ancient light all the time. It passes through your body, it passes through your walls. It's faint, but it's there. That means the oldest thing you can see is not a star. It's the universe itself in its infancy, still echoing through space as radiation. This should change how you think about night. The night sky is not empty. It is full of information, full of old messages still traveling. And you are a receiver. Now bring it back down to you, because this is where it becomes personal. Every time you look at someone you love, you are looking at their past. A tiny past, nanoseconds, but still a past. Every smile you see has already happened. Your brain feels it as now, but physics says no, and that isn't sad, it's just real. It means the present moment is not a point. It's a process, a construction, a constant updating of a model based on delayed signals. So when people say, live in the present, what they really mean is live in the region where your signals are consistent enough to feel immediate. But the universe does not give you a true now. It gives you light, and you build now out of that light. Now, if you want one final mind break, consider this. When you look at the stars, you are not just seeing old light. You are also seeing what the universe was capable of back then. You are seeing chemistry already operating, gravity already shaping, nuclear fusion already blazing. The laws of physics you live under were already running long before you existed. The universe has been doing its thing for billions of years. And you are a latecomer with eyes that can catch ancient photons and a brain that can turn them into meaning. That is one of the strangest facts about being human. Not that we are small, but that we can know we are small. We can look into the past and understand what we're seeing. And that understanding is not comfort, it's power. Because once you accept that you are always seeing the past, you stop treating appearances as the whole story. You start asking, what is the mechanism carrying this information? What is the delay? What is the source? And that is the beginning of thinking like a physicist. So next time you look up at the night sky, don't just see stars, see timestamps, see messages, see ancient light arriving late. You are not looking at the universe. You are looking at the universe's memory. And here's the question I'll leave you with. If light is the universe's memory, what is the universe forgetting as it expands and stretches that memory thinner and thinner?